In all standard terms, I am the mom. I have 5 children, 4 of which have grown in my belly, and 1 that has grown in my heart. I fill their bellies with meals, their hearts with love, and their faces with smile after smile. I take them to basketball and lacrosse and orchestra and band practices. I've shared my love of books and the library, and I nurture their need for adventure. In short, I do all the things a normal mother would do. Then there are the things I cannot do for them. There are the times when I cannot be the mother I thought I'd be, or even the mother I was just a short time ago. 6 years ago, I was in the prime of my life. I was a divorced mom with 3 kids living in sunny Orlando. I had an amazing career, had traveled the country, and had a fantastic group of friends. But the best part was, my kids and I were a team. We did everything together. We attended chili cook-offs and art gallery openings. We went indoor skydiving and even stomped grapes in a barrel, like I Love Lucy. Every day was a new adventure. Not long into that same year, I met a wonderful man named Rich and his incredible son. After a year of long-distance Skype calls and lots of airline miles, we packed up our bags, said a tearful goodbye to the life we knew, and drove on the heels of a hurricane straight into their arms. Thus, the kids and I began to find brand new adventures in this unfamiliar state. The most memorable being a sunny but cold day at Yagu. After a long day of sliding and slipping and flying over those little hills, my legs felt a little wobbly, and the kids noticed I was walking a bit oddly. But I didn't think much of it. I mean, this Florida girl wasn't exactly a snow bunny, so I chalked it up to too much of a new thing. The next day, my legs began to feel tingly, almost like that feeling you get when your foot falls asleep, except this wasn't my foot. It was both of my legs from my hips down to my toes. Looking back now, I should have known something was off, but I didn't think much of it then either. Maybe it was just a pinched nerve. Those go away on their own, right? It wasn't until 2 weeks later, legs still numb, that I finally accepted something was really wrong. My legs wouldn't move. It wasn't that, oh, I'm so tired, my legs are just exhausted type of wouldn't move. They literally would not move. I took a second while sitting at the bottom of the steps, and I remember telling myself, this is silly. Tell them to move. They'll move. So I did, but they didn't. Rich noticed and asked if I was okay, and I remember saying, I think that pinched nerve is messing with me a bit more than I thought. With that, I crawled up the stairs with my arms, pulling each of my knees up to the next step until I reached the top. I crawled on over to the kids' room, tucked them in, and climbed right into my own bed. This time, with the thought that I'd call the doctor in the morning and get this taken care of with a pill or a shot, or whatever it was they did to unpinch a pinched nerve. The next morning, my legs seemed to work again, although still numb and slightly weaker than before. I called the doctor, and when I explained my symptoms, they fit me in that very afternoon. Less than a week later, after a spinal tap and a few MRIs, we knew the reason for it all. I have MS. I wasn't sure what that meant at the time. All I knew is that if every now and then my legs went numb, I could handle it. No biggie. It wouldn't affect my life or the adventures we had planned. Not one bit. Boy, was I wrong. The changes happened a lot faster than I had imagined and impacted some of the biggest moments of our lives. The night of our wedding, 2 months later, my legs gave out and my new husband carried me out of the building. We never had a first dance. When our daughter was born a year later, 5 weeks early with a heart condition, I didn't have the energy to pick up her tiny 6-pound body, let alone nurse her. I fell into a pretty dark depression after that. The most difficult moments, however, were the ones that impacted the adventures I used to have without a second thought. I remember our first trip back home to Florida after my diagnosis. I was sitting at the exit for the Harry Potter ride as my husband took the kids on, and I sat there in a motorized wheelchair, crying, because it was the first time that I couldn't join them. That's when it hit me. MS was ruining everything. It was the one adventure that chose us instead of the other way around, and now it was in our way. I was letting my kids down, and it was humiliating. From then on, my kids looked at me with sadness, and my husband, though he'll never admit it, looked at me with pity. Being a mom with MS is tough. I don't know if tomorrow is the day where I'll lose my vision or if I'll be in a wheelchair next month. I don't know if one day I'll lose the ability to feel their hugs entirely. But being a kid with a mom with MS is much tougher. Since that scary night at the bottom of the stairs, we've had many more nights that I can't go up for goodnight kisses. They've given up adventure after adventure, many times at the last minute, because I just don't have the energy. My 10-year-old cooks when I can't. My 8-year-old has become a second mommy to our 2-year-old. And when I can't carry the laundry up the stairs, my sons jump in to carry the weight, literally. My toddler, she even thinks that the candy cap signs are her friends and has been known to hug them at times. My kids are rock stars. They've stood strong beside me, but they've also shed some tears. My daughter recently shared an autobiography in school. One of the lines of her poem read, "I hope to find a cure for MS, so my mommy isn't sick." It was in those innocent words of my 10-year-old that I found the strength to not let it get in the way anymore. She can't possibly know just how much I wish for that too. I just want to be her old mom again. Sharing my story today with all of you is my way of thanking them for being there for me. They are my heroes and the reason I fight against MS every day. Thank you.